right, here we go, man. TDM Talk. We're in the building. As you can see, we are here with a very lovely special guest, Miss Maria Sáez, right?
Yeah, yeah, you
Yeah.
got it right. I should have let you just take it
Nah,
again.
you're
You got
good. You're
it.
good. I'm pretty sure what's the percentage of people messing that up? Like, is it pretty,
They always ask me, yeah, 80% of the
what do they
time.
say?
It's a Sayers or Sayet. I don't know.
Says?
Yeah,
I don't
Says,
know.
Says. That's how they say it. But
Okay.
Maria, they always bust out in the song though too. So always
Nah,
in the
we
song.
appreciate you, coming through and stopping by TDM Talk. We had been talking about doing this,
Yes.
for a minute, and it kind of came like at a good time because it was, well, at an awkward time at first because we were, like I told you, we were in transition with moving
Mhm.
studio and trying to get just everything in order so that we
Mhm.
can, be able to sit down and do this. So I appreciate your patience with us. It hasn't been
No.
easy.
But I'm so excited and I'm happy that I got you to your on your evolution and your next chapter. So everything happens for a reason.
Nah, I appreciate that. And I'm a firm believer in that. I love that you said that because I'm the same way. Like, I
Mhm.
feel as much as we want something to happen
Mhm.
like right away, it's
Mhm.
not always like that. And
Yeah.
it's frustrating. It
It
can
is
be.
frustrating. It is. I feel like you have to have a lot of faith, and because that will make doubts if you're constantly thinking about it needs to happen now, it needs to happen now. You just have to trust the process.
Man, we starting off so deep already. That's like, we preaching tonight, man. We on that. Nah, I especially with with what we do with
Mhm.
for those that don't know, we I know you do music.
Mhm.
We do with the podcast and working in this crazy entertainment world,
Mhm.
industry where everything is unpredictable. You
Yeah.
just never know what we constantly just push product.
Mhm.
You with
Mhm.
the music,
Mhm.
us with the podcast. You never know which one's. I'll tell you no lie. There's been some episodes I'm thinking, man, this one's gonna just go crazy, and it
Yeah.
does nothing. And then the
Just
ones
like
that
the
I'm thinking,
song.
like, yeah, the one I'm
Mhm.
thinking, man, this is not really gonna do much because
Yeah.
nobody knows who it is, blah
Yeah.
blah blah. And then those end up being the ones that are like, oh damn, that's
Mhm.
doing numbers.
Yeah. That's why it is important to try everything and be so open and stuff like that.
Exactly. So that's one of the things we started doing. We opened up our doors to like comedians.
Yes.
We've interviewed business owners. One of the I think the craziest people we've interviewed. I don't want to say crazy, but like that you wouldn't think was a
Yeah.
blind comedian. Like he was blind,
Wow.
and
Was he funny?
yeah, he was funny. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That they kind of like make fun of themselves, like
Yeah.
with whatever it is that they, they're fat. They'll talk about how fat they are,
Oh,
or they're
okay.
old or bald or whatever. And we would make vision jokes, like, oh, I bet you didn't see that coming. And he was like, and sometimes you're like, damn,
The
did I
dark
really?
humor.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
dark humor,
Yeah.
So it's just one of them type of things. Then you got, again, we've had people like Easy Wireless, local
Mm.
business owners who's, not too far from here, HTX Tactical, the people, the guys that sell guns, so
That's
yeah, it's
interesting.
an interesting thing that when you start to open doors to people who you would never think to interview, but we've always been about the Latino community,
I love it so
I
much.
mean, we're them damn Mexicans. It's like, why not?
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
so we try to uplift, provide a platform for other Latinos. So,
Yeah. Definitely making your own table. It's amazing.
and we
Yeah.
talked about, the whole
Yeah.
making their own table, and I see everything that you got going on. So, uh, man, talk about the music. Like, how is that going so far?
The music is going great and exciting. If you guys didn't know, this summer I dropped two songs, and it was I Wanna and Heartbroken. And I'm currently working on Heartbroken's video numbers. We're almost to 1,000. So go click that link in my bio and leave a comment, okay?
We're gonna put a link in the description where they can just go in there and
Yay!
click on it and go watch the video.
Yeah, definitely. So that's my latest one, and now I am building a team, and we are really serious about this and putting ourselves out there constantly. DAC Hustle Town. So what we have next is Saya Says, which is our next single that we're
Okay,
dropping.
okay.
Hmm.
I was gonna bring that up. But see, you're going into your
I'm
hosting.
jumping into
You're
it.
going into your hosting bag right now. So no, I love that.
Segue.
I see. For those that don't know, you go to her Instagram, you go to her YouTube, tons of content. I mean, my
Yeah.
notifications stay going off. Am
Ah!
side just dropped the new, or the whatever, and I
You know
try to
how
keep.
embarrassing that is though? Like that's why
Why?
I gotta get over that because I
Oh.
don't want I don't want to be in anybody's face. You know what? I'm
Mm.
not trying to be like, hey, look at me. But I had to get over that if I
Yeah,
want to take it seriously, And I'm
for
just like,
sure.
I'm here. You're gonna see me, you're gonna know my name, and you're gonna know what my message and what I'm about.
The visibility for an artist is so key because you want people to get to see who it is that's behind the song or who it is that's
Mhm.
behind the content.
Mhm.
And I feel like a lot of artists don't have that connection with
Mhm.
their audience.
Yeah.
So I always encourage them to do things like with
Mhm.
what you do, or maybe go live every now and then and
Yeah.
interact with
Mhm.
your followers, because
Definitely.
they the ones that's want to know what's next and what they're keeping up with.
They want to be shown love too. Like it's like a two-way street. Like
Yep.
you want me to support your music and your song, and you don't even know who I am. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to connect with the
Because I
following.
know when I see people go live and I'll tap in. I know when fam's gone live, I'll if I get a chance, I'll tap in
Mhm.
and they'll be like, "Oh, them damn Mexicans," as
Mhm.
what up, y'all. It
Yeah.
feels good to be
Yeah.
acknowledged, like, man, and so
Mhm.
I think it's a key, a big key thing that artists I think should do, because I feel that the more people get to know you
Mhm.
or feel like they know you, the more they'll support you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they want to make it seem like they know you. They want to be like, "Well, I
Yeah.
know her, y'all. She spoke to me, like
Yeah.
online or whatever the case might be."
Yeah. But I think it's you get in your head sometimes like when I overexpose myself it starts like sometimes like oh they're going to think this or oh they're going to
Mhm.
you just start getting in your head about what people are going to think and then also when they get to know you are they actually going to like you? They're going to be sometimes people don't like you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like you just got to get over that. Do you like you? And then just keep it pushing.
That's one of the things that I think I had to come to terms with, is just come to the realization that I'm not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And
Mhm.
every artist I've worked with or even gave any kind of advice or consultation is like, always remember, not everybody's going to like you.
Yeah.
And you just got to rock with those that do, and you got to keep pushing and be consistent. Like that,
Mhm.
it sounds simple.
Yeah, sounds
It's
simple.
easier
Yeah,
said than done, trust me,
definitely.
but it is, because I've seen podcasts come and go,
Hmm.
and we're not even 2 years. I think January will be 2 years that that
Really?
we've
I
been doing
thought you
this.
guys been around for a
No,
while.
mm-mm.
That's
Yeah, it
awesome.
ain't
That's
even been
really
two
great.
years. So we're just being consistent.
Yeah.
Even when we didn't have a studio, it was like pull out the mics and pull out the phone and
Mhm.
go to events, and I've done 10 interviews like in one day. I think I did 14 at a car show out in Pasadena a few months ago.
Dang.
I had no voice at the end of the day, but I got to interview J Dog, Young
Nice.
Star,
Nice.
a bunch of people, out
Mhm.
there. Even some of the models, got in
Nice.
on and got some interviews. So,
Mhm.
we just try to bring light to what everybody's doing. They're all waiting
Yes.
on interviews, by the way. We got you. We got you coming. Don't worry. They're gonna be like,
Oh,
"Where?"
tell me about it. Go tell me about it. I
Yeah,
love
I
that.
so I saw your Hustle Town interview, man.
Yes,
With shout
that
out to
just came
Tex,
out.
man.
I'm so excited. The reason why I started laughing when you said that because I'm waiting for my virtual performance, which is Sáez says.
When does
So
that? When does that? When does
it's
that?
coming soon, soon,
Okay,
soon.
hurry up, Tex. Now.
It's coming though. So
Nah, but how was that? I was you did really well, by the way. And I think I
thank
don't know if I told you
you.
that, but I think I was like, I think we were messaging as I was watching it, because I think it had dropped like, or at least when I saw it, it was like at night, at some
Yeah.
point at night, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh shit, like let me go check this out, and I thought it was
Thank
dope.
you. You're awesome.
I was like, yeah, she sounds so prophetic, like she's just been here before. Because some people come up here and they get nervous, and
Yeah.
I've had people turn me down for interviews. Got a
Because they're
great story.
nervous.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, no, I'm gonna stutter. I don't, I'm
Mm.
not comfortable with that.
Mhm. Wow.
Where do you feel like that comfortability comes from? Like you just coming up here and being just, or do you think you're just a natural at it?
I like to say that. I like that way that sounds. I'm a natural, but I think I just learned though that interviewing is another skill. I
Mm.
kind of thought it was easy, just like answer questions about yourself, but it is. I'm learning it's a little skill because I appreciate your compliment, but I feel like I could have done better in this way. I could
Yeah.
have did it. You know what I mean? It's like okay, these are things I have to get better at. So
That's always the case. I mean, look, when we jumped into the podcasting thing, we started off as a live podcast.
Mm.
You know how many times I messed up, and it's live. You can't go back and edit that. You can't. Hey, we're gonna reshoot. No,
Mhm.
this is live.
Mhm.
We'd have a countdown. It was 10, 9, and then we're like, and I'm sitting there fucking sweating, like, God damn, okay. And in your mind, you're thinking, I got the intro. I already know what I'm gonna kick it off. And the a funny story. I actually had strep throat like the week before and leading into our first episode.
Wow.
So I was like, I don't even know if I'm gonna do it. I was
Mhm.
telling some of the people who were my co-hosts, I was like, y'all gonna have to just do it without me. And they're like, no, we can't. Like, not that we couldn't, but this
Mhm.
is your thing. Like, you need
Yeah.
to be here.
Mhm.
And I just, by God's grace, thank you, thank you, Jesus, that man, I was able to, I was good. I was
Yeah.
taking antibiotics, and basically I was good to go. But I
Okay.
thought that was crazy. Yeah.
The way things work out.
Yeah,
Right?
but and even now, I'm like, damn, I could have done this different. Or I could have
Yeah.
said that different. It's always going to be the case.
Always improvement.
So I've never seen you perform like live. I've seen the videos. You
Mhm.
get up there and you move around and you do your thing.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to. Are you performing at the Halloween thing?
Tequila
Okay.
Bees, the 31st. Yes.
Yeah, go ahead and plug that. Go ahead and plug
So
that.
Tequila Bees gonna have a haunted house. We're gonna do costume contests, dancing contests, and performances by me. 2, 1.
Awesome. Y'all heard it. Y'all bet this will be out before then. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. So that way it's promo for the for the
thank
event.
you.
But yeah. But what I was gonna say was like, do you feel just as comfortable on stage as you do like behind like doing an interview?
I
Or
feel a little bit more comfortable doing an interview than
Okay.
on stage. Yeah, I have to get some discipline and structure on stage. You know what I
Okay.
mean? I'm like, however I'm feeling, I'm just gonna feel it. I have to have a plan because I also I try to say all my lyrics and I'm out of breath by the time the verse comes on again.
Yeah.
So I definitely
Gotta learn
another
that
skill.
breath that what do they call it? Breath control or
Breath
whatever.
control. I
Whatever
have
it's
no
called.
idea what that is, like how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think you need to do to fix that?
Practice more. I actually got some more tips. Someone said to do it in the mirror, to watch yourself, see how you look, and also while you're jogging, sing your song.
Interesting.
Right?
Look, these artists are gonna be writing this down and be like, man, let me go. Well, so last Embrace the Culture, well, not the one we just had, but the last year's Embrace the Culture, we had an artist from Cali, Viva Mezcal. He was out here and he performed with no lyric, like no background track, like it was just straight the track.
Skill.
But them guys, and there's also a few, I think like Chop the Father, AB Raps. A lot of those guys, they go up there and rap with with no vocals. They just go and do. But they practice. I'll see videos of them in the studio and they're practicing their lyrics. Trying to be on time. I think that's I like that. I can imagine how hard that is.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like every performer, I think like we look at them on stage, like the big ones, Beyonce, Michael Jackson, and it looks so easy, but it takes work.
Yeah, you got to put in that. You got to put in that work. So, how long have you been doing the music thing now?
I started in 2020.
Okay.
And so it's been about 4 years. I took a little break in between, and now I'm back on it, and I'm trying to stay on it.
Yeah, you're like on fire right now. You're like everywhere. Like I just see. I'm trying to remember. Oh, it was through Shadia. Shout out to Shadia, man. Shadia Styles. That's how I found out about you because she had I think a reel or something and one of your songs was playing. And I was like, I heard the song and I was like, yo, that's sounds dope because it was different.
Yay.
From what I'm used to, hearing. So I was like, who's that? She's like, oh, that's my friend. She's like, so then that's where the miscommunication came from, where we, we laugh about it now.
I was supposed to perform at this Embrace Culture.
Look,
left me off the list.
she told me I want to pop out, and I'm thinking, well, just
what
you
was
come
the
out.
Exact words?
I think it was pop out.
It was pop out.
Yeah.
Show out.
Or show out.
Show out.
She's like, I want to come show out, and I was like, to me, I thought that meant like you just wanted to come show out, like just show up. I'm like, well, yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah, of course you're invited. Everybody's invited. But look, for one, again, and I told you this today because we actually got a chance to talk and meet that day. So for one, I appreciate you coming out. You got your interview with Latinx Hip Hop as well. I saw that.
for that.
Yeah, shout
Yeah.
out to him, man. He's really put in a lot of work.
And you guys collab. You guys are doing some cool stuff with your playlists, and I
Yeah.
like what you got coming
We got
on.
like 3 years
Working
going on
together.
that playlist
Oh,
now. Yeah,
okay, awesome.
straight where we never took a month off. Every month we drop a new playlist, and it's expanded where we have artists from Canada,
Nice.
West Coast to East Coast.
I don't know how, because you guys always have like the songs, and I'm like, how do they keep up with this? And when I see my song there, I was like, yay! Before Heartbroken stuff like that, he was
Yeah,
on it.
I'll give him a lot of credit. He's on that type of thing. Like
Yeah,
he's
and he's watching
everywhere.
Nice. Yeah.
I can't do it. That's just not. And as much as I love music, I can't keep up with it because I'm
Yeah.
busy with
Yeah.
a million other things that I'm
Mhm.
doing. But his focus is on the music, and but the minute we start to push that we're taking submissions, we
Mhm.
make one post on a story, 24 hours it's up, and we get submissions like crazy.
I bet.
And people, we have turned some down because it was just like, yeah, it's just not good. We didn't.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, well that makes me feel a little special. Not just anybody can get on the playlist. So.
That's true because we had one I think last year where we were like, yo, this was pretty bad. Like every song on it was not really that good, and we were like, because at one point we were just taking everybody,
yeah.
And then he was like, hey, I think we need to start, kind of judging
Yeah.
a little bit better. And I was like, I think you're right, because I was like, this month was kind of whack, and I don't remember who was on it, but
call him out. Yeah, you do.
Call him out. If I did, I would definitely call him out. No, I forget a lot because even with the cover, we'll like who we're putting on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of, we go over that, and it's just him and I, it's just between something that me and him just collab on and partner up with, and it's a dope thing because it brings a lot of exposure, and then people from other, I think the young lady that's on the cover, Yesenia, I think she's from. I hope I don't get it wrong. Like either Cali or like Chicago or one of those
They're
places.
like separate.
Yeah, that's not even close. So I don't even know where that came from. But I know she's just not from Texas.
Okay,
I'm gonna say that. I should have just said that. But that's exposure though, because now she shares a playlist, and then guess who's on it? You're on it. He's on it. She's on it, and now people from other states are listening to your music. So it's important to collab and not. I feel like not burn those bridges with people who, especially like him or I, who pretty much don't charge you to do anything like that. Because I know people that charge to be on those playlists on their playlist or whatnot. But again, we got it right. We talked at that. So and what I say? I said from now on, you performing at every one of our events. You're like, all right, bet I'm gonna hold you to it. So we'll be doing the toy drive December 15th.
Awesome, that's exciting. I can't wait to work with you guys.
Yeah, we got a lot of talent, and then we even got talent from out of town that's coming in. Nice. So we're excited, and we're excited to have you there, and just a lot going on. And then we're giving back. It's again, community. We talked about that before off camera. Doing the community thing. Yeah. And being able to kind of give back.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's important because at the end of the day, that's really what it's all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's connecting with people and being there for each other. So that's how you build a community.
Yeah, for sure. And we just saw it outside the community. Coming into the building, just all the kids running around, the moonwalks and the vendors, and hell, I had no idea they were doing that. But what I wanted to also bring up is, so I see your skits, I see your content on YouTube, and I'm like, I can't help but think like she's got that acting bug. Like, is that something that you're
that was my first love, really, is acting. I really love acting. I like to be different characters and, try that. So, but I feel like acting, because I had children young, was just more of I had to put in work.
Okay.
Opposed to putting out my own music. So, but acting is definitely a love of mine. Actually, I have an audition coming up.
Really?
Yeah.
For a movie?
I think a short film thing. Yeah.
Okay. I know we were putting one together, and I don't really know what happened. I'm gonna have to contact my boy Rolly. We talked about doing that, and we had pretty much like the whole thing. Yeah, I think the whole cast. But he never followed up with it, and it just kind of like if you don't follow up with it, it just kind of like goes away. So
Yeah.
I'm about to ask him about that because I know we wanted to get you for a part as well,
Yeah.
and we talked about that. But I
Mhm.
think it'd be cool because that's
Mhm.
something that I think. I, so as much as I love music,
Mhm.
I feel like I don't have that actual connection. Like I don't have any
Hmm.
artists. I don't manage any artists. I'm not
Hmm.
really in
Hmm.
that aspect. So I find my passion through other things, which is like the podcast and
Okay.
doing the playlist and then
Mhm.
hosting the events that we do,
Mhm.
and just trying to build like a bigger. I don't. I'm not even going to give away what I'm trying to do with what I I think you know a little bit about what I'm trying to do with all of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Just the content and
Yeah.
things that we're slowly but surely putting together. And it's always hard because when you're doing something from the ground up with no
Mhm.
investors,
Mhm.
no sugar daddy. Some of these rappers got sugar daddies, and it's kind of crazy trying to like build something from the ground
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
so you being like a new artist, how do you feel like you being embraced by like the Houston community? Well, I don't say new, but I mean new
I
as
know
in
what you
like,
mean.
yeah, because
Yeah.
I know you've been since 2020, but like you just like
Mhm.
now you're like really on fire within the
Yeah,
last, I
like
want to
just
say like 6 months maybe.
yeah, just kind of putting myself out there because when I first started, it was more like I could just do this online. I could build a community online, but I do feel like I'm learning about Houston culture. I do think it is a if you weren't born here and your roots aren't here, it's a little hard to move your feet. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like you have to know. So I'm so grateful that I connected with the right people. Shout out to fam, and I'm slowly just making my path here. Like, hey, I know I'm not from Houston. I'm not an original Houstonian, but I got the hustle trait. You know what I mean? So I'm just pushing in and just still just making my mark slowly but surely.
No, that's good. I mean,
I'm from New York too, so I feel like I have a little bit of a different aura than the
yeah,
Houston. They sense it. They're like she ain't from
she
here.
ain't from. I think that is the case. I think people know when someone's not.
Yeah.
So like for Embrace the Culture, we had like maybe 7 artists that came from out of state to
Mhm.
perform, and they were all like, "Man, it's like people knew we weren't from here," But he
Mhm.
said all of them said, "Man, Houston was just they just showed us so much love everywhere we
Yeah,
went. They
definitely.
they embraced us,
Yeah.
and so do you feel like you got that?
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. I like the community down here. I'm still putting myself out there, but I feel like there's so much talent out here and
Yeah, it
everybody's
is.
working. So I think it's kind of easy to kind of collab and find your way through.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of like collabs, is there any artists out there that you want to collab with?
Yeah, I'm really excited about this collab that we have coming
Uh oh.
up. I'm gonna shout out Queen because we're
Oh
gonna do
yeah,
something.
shout out to the
Yeah,
queen.
so I love what I am Lopez is doing as well. She's like on fire, and I did Kat Ramos. I actually reached out to her too.
Yeah, Cat is dope.
Yeah, I love her. I actually when I first started getting out here in the streets was a couple of years ago, but I performed on the same stage with her and Catra, and so that's how I connected with
I want to
her.
say she performed at my toy drive last year
She
and
did.
Embrace the Culture.
Okay,
Yeah, she
cool.
did both of them. And we're actually supposed to plan another sit down interview as well. Maybe
Nice.
we'll let you
That's
do
why
it.
I was
Hey,
gonna actually bring her up. I was like, yeah.
yeah, we're supposed to have been done it. We did one with her before. Like I went to Catra studio, his old studio,
Mhm.
about a year ago, and I interviewed all his artists that one day. I think it was like 6 interviews.
Dang.
I was like tired, but
Dang.
you
Putting
know,
in work.
I mean, that's all I really know how to do is just like
Yeah.
I think my work ethic is what
Yeah.
has me where I'm at.
Definitely.
But yeah, Kat's super dope, man, and
Yeah.
she's a great person as well.
Yeah, she is. She's very humble
Yeah,
and quick and witty too.
yeah,
So
yeah, no
yeah.
doubt, no doubt. Anyone else?
Yeah, I love Powder, but anybody else as far I'm not sure yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, those are some good names though. A lot of the
Yeah.
ladies, a lot of the
Yeah.
ladies. Yeah,
And you
okay.
know what's so funny? I want to connect with a lot of ladies, but on the outside, like my manager fam, I have a lot of guys I'm working around. I don't know what it is. Like I want to work with some ladies, you know what I mean? But for some reason it's a little easier for me to connect with the guys.
Okay,
You
okay.
know? So I'm
Yeah.
looking for my lady crew
Yeah, yeah,
because I
yeah.
need the feminine energy.
Nah, that's dope. And then I think like that whole iron sharpens iron type of thing. Like when you
Definitely.
get with other talented,
Mhm.
which everyone you named was is super talented
Yeah.
and dope. So
Mhm.
I think like a collab
Yeah.
definitely was gonna be like fire. Get the
I'm excited.
yeah, yeah. No, I
Yeah.
can't wait to see what's coming. We hear the music. What do you categorize? Like how do you not that you wanna be put in a box,
Box.
but like
Yeah.
if you would have to describe the style of music.
I guess I would say pop to over.
I
Yeah.
said so. I said that too. Like when people ask me, when I've spoken
Mhm.
about you, and they're like, I was like, man, I had the same reaction. I was like, man, I was like, I guess if I had to pick,
Mhm.
I said pop,
Yeah.
and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
It's a little hard. Like I have to like straighten. I'm like, oh, it's pop. I do pop. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
I like it. I enjoy it, and I do feel like um, it's nice to get out of the same old hip hop hard rap stuff. You know what I mean? I feel like everything's oversaturated now. You can do whatever it is, but
yeah,
I feel like have that little difference,
yeah. So like doing pop, you're kind of like in a
different lane.
yeah, you're in a different lane,
Mhm.
and you might even be the only one. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at least that's doing something because rap we everybody you just named, and then
Mhm.
there's a ton more that we can just go down the list and be like, all of these young ladies rap hip
Mhm.
hop or whatever you want to call it, but
Mhm.
very few doing pop or
Yeah.
doing reggaeton or even
Yeah.
R&B. Like there's the
Yeah.
R&B market. Like I grew up during the 90s,
Yep.
80s and 90s. Okay,
Mhm.
I'm like, give it. Let me just add that before people are like, hey, you.
Credit check you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were like, hey, but going through those like Whitney Houston,
Yeah.
Jodeci, Mary J.
Mhm.
Blige. I mean, some of the
Mhm.
best R&B
Yep.
and hip hop, and I think any genre of music really was really great at that time.
Yeah.
But as far as like R&B like traditional, like we don't really
Mhm.
have that.
Yeah, it's tough out here. Well, like in I we don't have it a lot.
There's not too many artists
Not
that's
too
doing
many.
like
If you do R&B, let me know because I would love to connect and stuff like that. So
yeah.
yeah.
There's an artist that we're working with that he does R&B.
Oh, okay.
He raps too, and I always tell him like, bro, stick with the R&B. Like I think that's
Mhm.
dope. Like that gets more of a reaction. Like when he
Mhm.
posts his R&B stuff online,
Just because
is
the ladies, you cater to the ladies, that's it. We'll be your biggest fans
man.
forever.
And I tell him, I was like, look, bro, look when you post R&B and look when you post rap. The numbers speak. But I understand people have a love for hip
But
hop.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
What would you say is like your genre? Like, what is your favorite genre of music?
Yeah, I definitely would. I like R&B the most. I would say
Who
of
are
the
some of your
movement.
favorite artists?
Who are some of my favorite artists right now? R&B wise is
Yeah,
so hard too because the R&B is not the way it
and
used to
it's not.
be.
Yeah,
No,
the
but
scissors and the
yeah, they're just a different type. You know what I
it's
mean?
different for
It's
sure.
different. So, but I do love Scissor, Janae Aiko,
Yeah, yeah.
Janae Aiko for sure. Mariah the Scientist. I'm late on her, but I like her. She's
Okay,
sweet.
I gotta check
Yeah.
that one out.
Yeah, she's so pretty. You gotta check her out. But also, I'm feeling a little Billie Eilish lately.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, I kind of wanted to tune her in, but
okay.
yeah, I feel
Yeah,
something like it.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
That's not bad, because again, if I showed you the music in my phone, it's just so diverse. It could go
Yeah.
from like DMX to gospel to R&B, and it's all from all genres. But again, I look for R&B now, and it's just like it's hard because it sounds
Hmm.
more hip hop ish than
It
it does
does. It does.
anything else. So,
Yeah. They don't make it like the 90s. The 90s was a, a time. I
nah,
feel
for
like.
sure, for sure. What's so I know what you already talked about. What's next? But
Hmm.
your next single, when is that dropping?
I want to say within 3 weeks.
Okay.
Want to
I've
say
been
within
seeing
three
y'all teasing
weeks.
it, kind of like putting it out
Yeah.
there here and there,
Hmm.
and then I think I think that's dope the marketing because it sticks to me. I
Hmm.
remember it. It sticks out.
Hmm.
It stands out. I remember seeing it, and I keep
Yeah.
seeing it, and then it makes you wonder what is that? What does it mean?
Hmm.
You know, especially because nowadays people don't really, they got the stories and they're just kind of swipe,
Yeah.
or you don't really read, but you see the letters.
Yeah.
Uh, what would you describe that track what do you
Saya says.
what do you hope people get from that?
I feel like with my latest songs that I just dropped, Heartbroken and I Wanna, is more lovey, all about love and me being heartbroken. And so with Saya says, I wanna like boss up a little bit and talk
Okay.
my shit. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? So I'm getting into my ego and my boss lady vibes inside that song. So
Yeah, I see that passion and that hunger. I saw you did the challenge. What was
hmm
that challenge
I
that you
did two
did? Oh, you
challenges.
did two of them. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So it was with Losi,
Uh huh.
Losi, and there was and then Katra just dropped one.
Okay.
So yeah, they're actually deciding the winners now. So
Oh, okay, okay,
yeah.
okay.
So I liked it. It was a lot of fun.
When are they? Have they already picked the winners or
For
announced it?
Losi's, I
Yeah.
believe so. I think it was like Rob, my man named Rob, and then not for Katras yet. No.
Okay. What's the one that Kadra had? What's it called?
It was the Prophets one.
Oh yeah.
Prophets.
Okay, I did see
Yeah.
that. I did see that.
Yeah.
It felt like it felt like it was a lot of challenges because I saw so many artists doing them. Well, at least the people that I followed.
You know what's so funny?
Hmm.
I promise you, I told fam, I told him right before anything, I was like, I want to do an open verse type of thing. You know what I mean? Because I just felt in the air. I
Yeah.
felt this like competitive vibe. Like
Yeah.
I felt people getting heated up and like, hey,
Yeah.
I'm the hottest. I felt it. And I told him, and then I didn't act on it. And then Los Los
Boom.
dropped this. Then Gatra dropped this. And I was just like, wow. You could always drop it, but I feel like you gotta let it sit for a little bit until that energy comes out again.
Yeah, I agree 100%. There's been times where I even tell someone what I want to do, and then
Mm-hmm.
someone all of a sudden is doing the same thing, and it's just
Yeah,
like,
you gotta
damn
get on
you!
it.
But you almost can't do nothing but get mad at
Oh,
yourself because
oh
you're like,
yeah,
that was on me. I didn't
yeah.
execute.
You know what's for personally my thoughts. Fam has different thoughts though, but
Tell us how you really feel.
I feel like me personally, I am definitely very humble. Okay, I'm not afraid to say that I'm making a name for myself right now. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to act all Miss Superstarish, entitled. I feel like that could really mess you up in a way.
Hmm.
But I am hustling right now. I'm grinding.
Yeah.
So like with my video, I'm on my way to 1K. And who is people like 1K? I'm working hard for that. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Organically. So
for
I'm
sure.
proud of it all. But with the open verse challenge, and like I said, I'm still in Houston, getting used to Houston. I don't know how many people would have hopped on. How many? What do you think? I feel like I don't know. Maybe if I marketed it hard enough, maybe, but I don't know.
One thing that I noticed about Houston is like embracing someone new kind of it's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like they
You
almost
gotta
don't
prove
want to.
yourself.
Yeah,
You gotta prove
exactly. You
yourself.
almost got to earn
Mm-hmm.
that from some people. They won't That's why when you did it and we talked about it, I was like, no, it's good. It's great that you did that
Mm-hmm.
because there's gonna be some that are gonna be like, you know what, she did her thing. I
Mm-hmm.
respectably like
Mm-hmm.
I can fuck with it because everybody out here is a competitor. That's how
Yeah.
you got to kind of look at it. Like
Mm-hmm.
everybody's competing against each other for the same
Yeah.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like, okay, you can't be afraid to jump in and do whatever it is that you have to do because again, this is you. No one's gonna do the shit for you.
Mm-mm.
Basically, no one's gonna do for you like you would do for you.
Definitely.
So I applaud you stepping out because like I said, you're not from here, so you're kind of like
Yeah.
and then people are probably like, who the hell is this?
I know, right?
Have you gotten any of that?
No.
Call them out.
No.
No.
No, I don't think so. I think people. But you know what? I 100% agree with you. Like, for a second, you want to be mad for a second. Like, why I got to prove myself? I'm great. You should just know it. That would be nice, right? But we gotta. Everybody needs to see you working hard for yourself or proving yourself before they jump on the wagon. Accept it. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna say it was crazy with not only just the brand but also with the podcast and everything I've done. There's been times where people shun me,
Hmm.
kind of like, nah, I don't, whatever. I'll follow someone that is doing clothing because at one point we had the clothing line, which it'll be back this spring, so y'all be on the lookout for that. But anyway, so I would reach out to others just on some showing love type shit, and I want to get that love back.
Hmm.
And so I would be like, all right, fuck it, whatever. And then a year later, when shit was popping, these same people were following me back now and commenting and and commenting on my post, and I was like, where'd this come from? So now it kind of turned into like a fuel. I use
Mm-hmm.
it as a motivation. Like, all right, I may not be good enough for you right now, but I'm gonna prove myself. That's why everything we do, we created our own shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got tired of asking for, hey, can let me hop on your podcast, and or let me, I got an artist that I want to get on your show. Well, okay, well, it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be this much,
Yeah.
that type of thing. And I was like, you know what, we're just gonna create our own events. We're gonna create our own clothing. We're gonna create our own podcast, our own network, and
Mm-hmm.
we do what the hell we want. I don't gotta ask nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like we talked about this before with the studios. Everywhere else, it was like I'd have to ask, when can I come record?
Mm-hmm.
Now I got my own key. I got my own
Exactly.
passcode. I can just come. You want to come today? Come on, let's go. You want to go
Mm-hmm.
record some content? Come on. When? It's 2 o'clock in the morning. All right, I'm on my way. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
But so again, I use that when people kind of like don't want to fuck with me, I guess, in some
Mm-hmm.
kind of way. I use it as a motivation. Like,
Yeah.
bet, okay, I'm gonna remember that, and I keep a mental note of all that shit. I'm like, bet, when I come with it, it's gonna
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
So I appreciate anybody who's rocking with me from the jump.
That's
Like,
exactly what I tell him. Like, what it takes a lot, like for you to like see something in me right now when nobody believes in me. It takes a lot. You know what I mean? So you gotta appreciate those people who see you from the beginning.
okay, that's so dope. What two more things before we wrap, but one thing for sure is, what's one piece of advice that you've gotten so far that it has stuck with you, and you could have just gotten it today during the interview, no, or in the last
Yeah.
year or so, whatever. But I mean, what's
Yeah.
one piece of advice that someone gave you and you're like, and to this day just lives rent free in your head still?
When you put me on the spot, it's hard. But let me see some advice. You know, um, I feel like it's the same old cliche stuff. I'm trying to think of something different that you guys haven't heard. Well, okay, how about that one? I think you never know if something is working out for the good or bad in that moment. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So that story with the Chinese man, I believe in his horse stepped on his son's foot, and they're like, "Oh, this is the most horrible thing ever! Oh my god!" And then the next week, the army is drafting people, but your son don't go because his leg is broken. So,
Mm,
did that work out in your favor? You know what I mean? So it's just like you never know what the situation is doing
that's
at a
dope.
moment. So don't get so attached to it in that moment. Let go a little bit.
That's so dope, because there's a few things that, and we could talk about it off camera or whatever, but because I don't want to, this could go on forever.
I know.
But there were some things that I wanted so bad to happen, uh, partnership wise, with people bigger
Mhm.
than my brand and whatnot, brands bigger than me, that
Mhm.
didn't work out.
Mhm.
That there was interest, but then it just never really kind of panned out.
Mhm.
And then I'm like, you know what? After a while, and I'd be kind of like, damn, that's kind of heartbroken. I'm plugging the single,
Hey.
but then it's like, you know what? I think it's meant to not be that way, so that I can create my own shit and create
Mhm.
my own lane, and I don't have to worry about collabing with somebody else or writing
Mhm.
someone else. So I totally get what you're saying. So I love that analogy, that
Yeah.
story. I think that's dope.
Yeah, definitely. It helps you let go of it.
Okay, okay. Well, any last minute shout outs before we get out of here?
Okay. Shout out to the team. We got fam, we got queen. We are building and growing. I am so grateful for David, the Mexicans, for allowing me to be on his amazing platform. So I'm so grateful. Shout out to the haters, shout out to the lovers, shout out to my mama, my kids, everything.
Yeah, yeah. I love that. I love that.
Oh, my eyelash was okay. That's all.
We'll edit an
Oh,
eyelash
try
in there.
to put a little emoji right
Put a little
there.
emoji, like those cars that have the eyelashes on
Yes,
them.
there we go.
Nah, that's what's up, man. Shout out to everybody that watches, man. Make
Yeah.
sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Go to the description. If you don't know where that is, just go on right on the bottom. Yep, right down there.
Mm-hmm.
and click on the little thing, and you'll see where you can go follow her, check out her music. Her music video. We'll put it up there. Let's run it to 1K.
Yes.
Tell her you saw her on TDM Talk. If you
Yes.
if you go check her out and you're like, man, I really like what she's doing.
Yeah.
Tell her, man, we saw you on TDM Talk. Matter of fact, I
What's her
appreciate you
name?
did that.
What's her name? Vossi.
Yeah, Yazzie Nicole.
Yazzie. I'm so sorry, Yazzie. Yeah, I seen that, and I was like, oh, and I know you're putting dope people on your platform, so definitely I had to be like, she looks cool. So if you meet me here on TDM, let us know, okay? We got to see the data, the analogy.
Exactly. So again, we appreciate everybody that rocks with us from the UK to Canada, and of course all across the United States. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Go follow Maria, and shout out to all of you guys, man. And on that note, we are them damn Mexicans.
Hey.